Nick Sirianni speaking to the media after the Eagles get the win against the Commanders.
It's huge, and that's a good opponent. So much respect for the coaches on that opposite team and the players on that Washington team. Again, so much respect for Coach Quinn. He's done an unbelievable job. So we knew we had to be on it today, and so we played a good opponent on a short week, and it was big to get a win.
How are you going over to Jake Elliott? He was having his struggles. What do you say to him to step out?
I mean, Jake's been so clutch his entire career and his entire time that I've been here too, and just like I would say to somebody that fumbled or dropped a pass in a moment, we believe in you. You're going to have to make a kick to help us win this football game, and he did to get us up that 16 points and 8 points or whatever it was. But we have so much faith in him, and that's what you do. And when the connection happens, I think connections happen when you can really build connections through tough times, right? And so obviously he was going through a tough time, but this team believes so much in Jake Elliott, because of his track record and who he is and the teammate he is, the captain he is, and just wanted to let him know that we all believed in him and can't wait for him to get his opportunity to go out and do it again.
Terry McLaurin only had one catch, didn't see it until the fourth quarter. I think Q lined up against him 20 times and he had 0 targets. What was the key to shutting him down?
I think, first and foremost, Terry McLaurin is a phenomenal football player. Man, I liked him coming out. When I was in Indy, he's an Indianapolis kid. We did a lot of work on him and just really think the world of him, the player, the person. He's been awesome in his career. With that being said, I think our guys did a nice job going against him. I think it started up front. We were able to get some pressure on the quarterback and force some scrambles, and we did a good job plastering on some of those scrambles. But just good team defense, and a lot of credit to Q, a lot of credit to Slay, a lot of credit to the underneath coverage that was helping them go other places with the football. Or it just takes, again, being on good team defense takes being on the same page, playing with great effort to the football, which I saw a lot in this game, and then just tackling well. I think we probably missed a couple more tackles than what I'm used to us missing, but credit to their players that can, Austin Eckler, I was fortunate enough to be with him in 2017 with the Chargers, and he's still everything I remember him, because he's pretty elusive in the open field. But that's the key to getting off blocks, playing physical, and I thought our defense was lights out tonight.
How about Jaylen Carter? Jaylen Carter
by Grant Calcaterra. How big of a play was that? And what's it say about him that he was all the way down there to get it?
First, Dallas got to do a better job protecting the football. He swung the football there, and we'll get that corrected. Dallas was bummed about that, but good things happen when you get to the football. That we talk about that on defense. We talk about that on offense. When you're hustling to the football, when you're getting to the football, when you're playing with relentless effort, good things happen. And I think that we've made a big emphasis on after the catch, who can you flip and find? Meaning, who can you flip and find and get a block on him, right? To be able to spring that thing open even more. And so that was just effort by Grant of, trying to set his teammate off to get a big gain. And then he's around the football to be able to pick that up there, In 2022, I think Quez lost a similar fumble in this game against the Commanders, where it was on a deeper pass, but they were able to recover it. That was a huge recovery. But again, we'll stress that because we'll really talk about that because like I said, good things happen when you get to the ball. And again, it's, Dallas will get all the yards for that, but, Grant made a huge play right there. And Grant continues to do things with the ball in his hand, without the ball in his hand, whether he's the number 1 tight end, whether he's the number 2 tight end. And, we're winning football games because Grant's playing good football. It takes everybody. Everybody's got not everybody's role is the same, but everybody's role is vitally important, and that's team football, and that's where you're proud of the guys of just playing good team football together.
Was that career high in tackles tonight? I know you haven't seen the tape, but is there anything that you can see from the sideline on his game, and how has he progressed these last weeks?
He is a freak athlete. you know, I really think that Jaylen Carter, whatever sport he would have put his mind into, he would be a big-time player in that sport. And he's just such a good athlete, and he's able to get to the football. He's violent when he gets there. There was a draw that they ran, or it was kind of like, I think it was a draw, that he retraced and made a play and got a big hit on Jaden Daniels. And so, again, I just think that he's been playing more than all the guy. You guys would tell me, I know recently he's played a lot more than the other guys. I don't know exactly the snap count, but he plays with relentless effort. He plays with great athletic ability. He plays with great violence when he gets to the football. Made some, you know, everyone will talk about the fourth down stop, but there was a couple plays he made behind the line of scrimmage that put him in the fourth down on that drive, which was a huge stop for our team.
What do you do for the team?
So good vibes for Nick Sirianni and the Eagles. And you look at how powerful this defense has been during their 16-win streak. Second in the NFL when it comes to points per game allowed. Only giving up just a hair over 211. They're first in the league and also first in yards per play. Only 3.8 yards.